Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to 2019 LCK Summer. We are on the cusp of Jin Air Greenwings being the worst team in LCK history.
And I think that's in some ways undeserved. I've cast most of LCK history. We're just talking about LCK. We're not talking about champions.
Spenu Sonic Boom
2014 and before. Spenu Sonic Boom were definitely worse than Jin Air, but the teams around them are way better now. And so Jin Air will probably win 4 games in a season and go down statistically as the worst team ever. But everyone's going to get a chance. We're giving everyone a new game.
Exactly.
Except ADK.
If this ship is going down, we're all 9 of us going down with it. There are 9 captains on Jin Air Greenwings, and we're going to be at the bottom of the ocean.
Good news, though. They've lost 17 times before. The safety checks on this plane are beautiful. There will be no fatalities, but the plane will come down.
And look, Jin Air Greenwings are also no strangers to the promotion tournament. They are very, very good at it. They were able to survive when other teams were not. And look, the LCK is eternal. It feels like Jin Air Greenwings are eternal along with it, regardless of what the standings may say. So we'll see whether they are going to survive. Of course, still a chance they are relegated. But that is in a few weeks' time. That will be after the World's
future
qualification
There's
gauntlet.
3 Worlds teams locked in before any Challengers Korea's team or LCK teams go up. So
that's exactly
a lot of business to be taken. Again, do not miss it in all the chatter about Jin Air. Griffin also are. Win both your matches in any scoreline and go to Worlds.
Yes.
And go to first spot. So you make the LCK final, you're already into Worlds. A weird, you still kind of need to be clutch, but because Worlds is the ultimate dream don't scenario where maybe it'll buff Griffin, who knows?
And also, the problem is for me, is that we'll go into another final with Griffin in theory, and we won't necessarily learn whether they do have that clutch situation.
We will.
Because, like, they don't have to win.
But what if they did? 3-0.
Well, if they win 3-0, that would be sick.
I think it's the Griffin announcement time. I'm going to put it out there. I'm reading into the King Zone series a lot, and a win over Jin Air, but
a dangerous series to win.
We have a lot of teams that don't know where they're at. Damwon Gaming versus Griffin will be a banger final.
Damn right it would. I feel like Damwon found themselves yesterday. I think that's another team that was in a bit of turmoil after their loss to Hanwha. I think SKT didn't give us any of those signs of knowing exactly how they wanted to play a comp out. They played 2 mid-game comps and failed when it was all about late game when they were winning. And mixing it up now, not sure whether that's a great choice. Damwon Gaming, though, just beat them with better League of Legends across the board. And we saw the best and worst of Sandbox Gaming as well. I feel like a lot of our teams are finding themselves in consistent and inconsistent ways. Griffin certainly looking more consistent in their last couple of matches.
Is Hanwha Life the 2nd or 3rd best team in Korea right now? Think about it. They just beat Damwon into SKT. They could beat Griffin. It could happen.
They could.
It wouldn't matter too much apart from being out of relegations, but
I've spoken about this already. What are they playing for, Pup? They can't get back to their beloved 6th place.
Right. Potentially nice meals from the Hanwha lifestyle.
And also the ability to get out of that relegation zone. There is still a chance that they can go down to the promotion tournament if KT are able to best King Zone, which is in a match coming up, I believe, tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Of course, it just feels like every single match here in the LCK means something.
Because there's so many teams in the run for things. Only Jin Air is playing spoiler, and even then, this is their final game, and 0-18.
Yeah.
Even that is very, very conspicuous of something that you want to fight for. In case you guys are wondering, with the 4-man swap, we need a little bit more extra time.
Yeah, you can see behind us on the screen, that is Nova's family on the back screen. So Nova actually getting a chance to play. Oh, thank goodness.
Well, they swapped everyone they could. No longer on the roster is Stitch, who was the most recognizable name that joined. They heavily preferred Root. Didn't end up playing Stitch, and then Stitch kind of stepped down from the team halfway through. Maybe that's not like 2 weeks into summer season. So they swapped everyone they could. That means Big Chungus is here.
Yeah.
So the Zed possibilities go up.
They certainly do. Nova could also be jumping on, something like a Blitzcrank, and we could have the shenanigans that we may have had. Well, look, he's got himself to prove now.
His Rakan was pretty good last year.
Yeah, Nova really had some moments last year, actually.
Yeah. His Rakan his engaged support. His disengaged support was not very good. But his engaged support was pretty good. But he was alongside Teddy, which, again, different proposition, even though Root has been pretty good, all things considered, for Jin Air.
Yep. You have to look at how amazing effort looks now in a lot of cases. Mata as well being able to be a little bit buffed by the Teddy factor.
To throw us off topic, did you eat or do anything special for Liberation Day with your
I did.
partner?
I had the samgyetang,
Yes.
which is
Chicken soup.
the chicken soup.
Chicken ginseng soup.
Yeah, which you take. It's sort of like the summer food. You take it you eat it at the height of summer. Glad plains rise up.
Oh, the left side.
Here to see the G2 killers. Thanks, Bubba.
You missed the left side. LS approved 6 Morellonomicons.
Oh God, no. That's why I skipped it. I did it for you, LS. I know you're probably not watching, but if you were, know that I'm here for you.
How do we not know that 6 is not the sweet spot for Morellonomicons? Because we had double Morellonomicon earlier this season.
That's true.
How do we not know that there's some like spaghetti code and suddenly 6, you just auto-win the game?
I mean, it worked in TFT. Why shouldn't it work here?
Fair question.
Yeah. Okay.
Jin Air fan.
Jin Air faithful, man.
Exactly, wearing the jersey here.
Yeah.
But happy to have people smiling in the arena. Looking around, where are we at today? We're probably about 85% full for a Jin Air series.
We have a lot of people here, and I think it's because largely people want to see Griffin playing well, and after King Zone, Griffin certainly were up there, but people love Jin Air.
Whoa!
You know?
Chovy's just rocking out in that sign behind it. Kind of looked like his Galio Justice punching.
Yep, and a slight smile on his face here as well. That's about as close to rocking out that you can get with real Chovy.
Do we have any 17-year-old players left in the LCK? Maybe Sennen? I think Sennen might be the closest.
I mean, we've got a lot of young players. Of course, the FLICKR Freaks is where you look if you want to find the youngest.
Because it was kind of the Chovy and Yukao school that are both 18 now. I think Sennen might be the 17. September 18th turns Western age 18.
Man, looking at the 2001 there is making me feel extraordinary.
Yeah, I remember September 2001, it turns out. Something notable happened that month. Yeah. I was 14. So.
Yeah, I was heading into high school for the first time. High school different if you're watching from North America. We don't have middle school in Australia.
I know. I don't really understand.
People were talking about middle school. I'm like, what the heck is a middle school?
And we don't use the freshman terminology and stuff like that. It's a little bit confusing for us.
Yeah, people would say sophomore, and I'm like, does that mean that you're more soft? Is that if you bathe more? Like, what? No, I use more skin products?
That's a word. I don't think we can insult the word. But
I don't know what the word. I never knew what the word meant, and that's on me. That's on me.
80 carry like Viper, life like Cloud Templar.
Aww. I'd want a life like Cloud Templar. Man, look, seems like he lives the charmed variety.
Nothing wrong with some charmed lives. So we're grade 1 through 7, and then 8 through 12 is how it works in Australia.
Well, yeah, depending on which state you're from. I was 0 through 6, and then 7 through 12.
Wait, that sounds very Korean, because Koreans have a lot of kind of... Well, no, Koreans, you're always 1. There is no kind of 0 to 1 scenario.
Yeah, so on the East Coast...
really complicated.
Yeah, on the East Coast, apart from Queensland, we have prep to 1 to 6, and then 7 to 12.
That's very confusing.
Well, I mean, I think we just wanted to put an extra year in there because it takes a bit more learning for us guys. You guys are doing okay.
I like how the self-burn started very early with the good old Atlas. And yet you're here, broadcasting to the LCK
Legion. I must have passed English at least a few times, right?
That's impossible. I wonder what The Simpsons is like these days. I gave up pretty late, maybe like 9 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been watching. I don't watch television anymore.
That's true. I mean, I don't
watch
either.
some Netflix, and that's about it, right?
I just miss Ralph Wiggum, you know?
Aww.
Which Simpsons character do you miss the most, Atlas?
Ooh.
I prefer if it was an underexposed one rather than overexposed one.
Yeah, I think I miss Mo the most.
That's fair.
Because I feel like he's the loneliest. So he's the one that's, doing the worst because we're not giving him any attention.
I miss Lionel Hutz as well, but of course Phil Hartman's tragic death stopped that one from being a further one. But
here we are.
We are here for Jin Air versus Griffin game number 2. Sorry for the extended delay. There was the 4-man sub out from Jin Air. Everyone other than Root did a big swapsies. That does mean that the big Chungus is on the Rift.
Yep.
And our Z chances are higher than ever.
They are certainly. So we'll see whether Chovy has an answer for the inevitable Z that we're obviously going to get before bed. Of course, I understand that if you are in America, and probably things getting a little bit late for you guys, or maybe a little bit early, depending on what side of the coin you're on.
So, dominant expectation is this is the 0-18, right?
Yep. Dominus expectation is 0, though, unfortunately.
Do you roll out the big Chungus set? Do you just do it?
Of course you do.
Do we just go greatest hits of Jin Air in this game?
I think you have to play Corki as well to represent the aeroplane. I think you need to do a lot of things in this game.
Oh my god, if we do that, we really need some like extra special slow motion plane crash replays going on.
Yeah.
All right, leave the Corki up, Griffin. It's the only thing you can do.
We'll need to release the kamikaze skin, I think, after this series.
Which skin do you choose then to like best?
Red Baron. Needs to be Red Baron. That thing would crash the best. Absolutely.
All right, I'll take your word for it. But that's red, so Griffin would probably pick that one. I don't know if there is an appropriate skin. Maybe UFO?
I mean, if it's on fire, everything's red, probably.
That's fair. That's too real for me.
No,
I'm also distracted by saying Papa on the left of Chovy's jersey.
Yep, in Korean, of course, guys.
It says Papa.
It says Papa. It does. So that is why.
It is an Uber contender in Korea. Yep. In case you guys are wondering who that is. Oh my god! It's all over.
Oh no.
Are they 0-18 yet?
I think maybe in comms, Cheongo said that he couldn't find the Z button. And so they've had to get us out of this champion select. Of course, I have no idea the real reason as to why. Hopefully we figure things out. Looks like it's not actually over on the Jin Air side, which you'd expect given the fact that we have switched out 4 of the players.
Preacher or door-to-door salesman for good old Coach Han in his get-up here?
I feel like he's a motivator.
Whoa! A Mumu riding the Glad plane.
Is that saying that Cloud Templar is a Jin Air fan?
Maybe.
Because he's the resident Amumu.
It's true.
Or maybe it's just Amumu's really sad.
We're going to get a translation, I'm sure. I'm a monster, it says. Whoa! Got a Swiss fan here in the audience.
Yeah. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to.
I could have tried, but they took it down too fast.
Yeah, there we go.
There's also the chance it's like naughty words.
It starts with
I think probably not, but possible.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We wouldn't know what we're saying.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, okay, good point. Unfortunately, not equipped with enough languages.
Whoa, it's Charlie Brown.
What's he doing there?
I'm not really sure. He seems a bit dopey today with his tongue out.
And I mean, Peanut's not even playing. So why do we have a Peanuts reference?
I skipped school for this. We have to win. Well,
Griffin, I reckon you got a chance.
You chose a day when a victory was very likely.
Yep. That is called getting your ducks in a row. It's like, well, if I'm going to skip school, got to make sure that they win. When do they play? There we go. Nailed it. Week 10. First match.
Not the last time they'll play. They will be the last team to play against Hanwha Life.
Yep, that'll be on Sunday. I'll book for the finals. Who's going to win the LCK?
So, we should probably raise that information. I believe, I tweeted about this. I want to say next Monday, finals teams go on sale. I got
finals tickets, yep.
And they're going to be staggered a little bit. So let me see if I actually have that information in front of me. Possible that I do not. But they will be releasing tickets next week for finals. Present for Griffin. Are those chilies, huh?
There's some chilies. Deal with it, glasses. What is this?
I assume there's a meme here.
Upset chili powder.
We're missing a meme here.
It's upset chili powder. It means upset, basically. It's delivering the chilies because chili makes you upset, I guess. That might be the reason.
I'd just love the real life deal with it. Glasses.
I know, right? Why did he looked like, who's that guy that everyone gets annoyed about who's in all the Adam Sandler movies?
You're talking about,
you know exactly who I'm talking
about.
Yeah,
Rob Schneider?
Rob Schneider, yeah. He looked like Rob Schneider from a specific movie where the dude gets his head cut off.
All right, so I'll give you time to think about it. On the 19th, so on Monday at 5 p.m., a wild card match. Tickets go on sale. If you're wondering what 5 p.m. means, 5 p.m. KST, all the same time. This broadcast went live. Wildcard match tickets are for sale. 6 p.m., that is when the first best of 5 tickets are for sale. 7 p.m., that is when semi-final tickets are on sale, and I guess the finals tickets will be released at a later time. So that is the information. If you want more information, go to twitter.com/KespaEN, KESPAEN, and there will be links through that website to pick up tickets for what should be a very notable finals. It's going to be at the Tiger Dome, Atlas. It's been announced, so The LCK final will be at the Tiger Dome, the Korea
A very historic
University.
venue, yeah.
Exactly. The last final of the LCK played there was LCK Summer 2015. My first ever LCK finals cast was with Monty and Doa in that venue. It was KT Rolster versus SKT. We had a telecom war on the day. It wasn't a memorable final. That was a 3-0, and I'm hoping we got our 3-0 out of the way in spring, and then we get the essence of summer, because there's been one 3-0 summer final in 7 years, one 3-1 final that you and I cast, Longzhu versus SKT, and every other final has been 5 games. So give me the damn 5 games.
And Griffin are pretty good at it. You know, they were in our last 5-game grand final that we had in LCK Summer last year. It was a nail-biter, and of course, Score's first victory. And after him announcing retirement plans moving into the next year, certainly lucky that he managed to at least find that title at least once.
That Renekton, just zoom in there further on the
Yeah, I just want the Renekton.
Oh! Surprise, Yumi!
That's insane!
It was riding in the Renekton the whole time. We would never have known.
How dare you? That's like saying, look at how talented I am. Oh, no, but wait, I'm even more talented.
But it makes even more sense lore-wise because the Yumi was inside the
that's
Renekton.
True. We need Renekton released in TFT. That's all I could think. It's like having a look at his items. Sorcerer Renekton sounds good.
Pointing towards a birthday cake, perhaps, on the right there?
That's Win Air today.
It is, yeah.
The question mark on his birthday. A victory for Jin Air on your birthday. Now that is a tall order, but something that they can still manage to do. Chovy picked Tristana. They're hanging out in the back. Bit of a Caps fan, I think.
Yeah.
Adorable. Adorable. The Feels birthday man's in the chat. I like it. Represent. CV Max, it's not his birthday, but he wants to get into the video game so that he can get a present anyway. A 2-0. Looking like it's on the cards, potentially.
Europe,
We'll
go!
see.
80 carry. Well, Viper could definitely be going there.
I was going to say, I mean, Nuclear's not in this particular game. From the future, Griffin won this.
Whoa.
Is what it says.
Someone from the future walking among us?
Whoa.
Is that the Terminator?
I mean, how's the continuum going? Can you please tell us about the paradox that you're experiencing right now? Have you ruined things for the future? I've seen so many different time travel movies. I want to know which one got it right. Because, look.
It was Looper.
I was going to say, I think
Looper got it
Looper's
right.
probably the closest. And definitely the coolest.
Being John Malkovich, the only correct movie.
I thought it was Back to the Future 1.
Do you know that people look at 1999 as one of the best years of cinema?
Mm-hmm.
I was reading, I think it might have been AV Club. There was some ranking of all the best films from that year, because ranked as like this crazy year of cinema.
Yeah.
Number 1 was Being John Malkovich, above a lot of very notable movies. To be fair, I watched that movie recently. It is amazing.
I haven't seen it for an extraordinarily
Neither
long
have I,
time.
and it's just as great as you could imagine.
All right, I need to go back and watch it then. Tournament server has a bit of an issue, so we're moving servers.
So we're going to need a bit more time to podcast, Atlas.
Oh, but that means that I can talk about tiebreakers.
Oh, no. That's not what the fans want. They don't like it when we talk about video game-related affairs.
Yeah, I know.
This is the last scheduled Papa podcast. I'm not casting after today in the regular season.
Well, look, you're just going to have to deal with it, Papa Smithy.
I don't have the glasses to deal with it, Atlas.
Because the only other tiebreaker that we could have, if Jin Air doesn't win this game and go on to win the series, which is our first tiebreaker scenario, if that happened, then there is a chance that SKT is able to take down Sandbox and get into a scenario where Griffin and SKT need to play themselves a tiebreaker. The other option is that there's a tiebreaker between Gen G, Afrika Freaks, and Kingzone Dragon X.
And that's the most video games tiebreaker
That is
scenario.
the most video games. That is when you want to be watching, because it's going to be LS and I believe, commentating that one, and LS will lose his mind.
I hope it's 8 games.
Oh,
purely because
imagine?
I need to know what 8-game LS looks
Dude,
like.
9 games. It could
No,
be
it couldn't be 9.
It couldn't?
No, it's 2 best-of-1s after 6 games.
No, but it doesn't have to be 3 because it's a 3-way tie?
No.
Ah.
That's not how it works. You didn't read all of the things.
No.
It's 2 lower seed teams. Winner plays the highest seed team.
Aha. Well, I mean, that's less games, but it's still 8.
Why do I know that? It wasn't even my job to know that.
Was it mine?
Yes.
I found out about
You're the
4
one-
minutes before we went live.
And you wasted and squandered those 4 minutes like your 30 years before.
I know. I squandered them talking to you about League of Legends.
LS is going to freeze you out of the broadcast. I watched that video. I know the undertone of
No,
it.
I built him Morellonomicon. I'm going to be safe. Can't freeze me. I'll burn him. It's all fine. But yes, that could be the potential scenario. That is assuming that both Afrika Freaks and Jin Air lose, and Kingzone is able to win. Kingzone taking down the squad of KT Rolster is not necessarily a scenario that they are going to find difficult, as that Chovy kitty cat picture is adorable.
Probably should be Lehends. I was getting the information. The players are being allowed to be freed to the bathroom and take the general
Which means,
breaks.
in theory, we could be celebrating another toilet issue. It's been a while since
Oh,
we've
but it's
had
not on
one
the
of those.
screen. Is it official?
Oh, that's true.
It's only official if we get a overlay.
I don't have a talkback in my intercom, guys, so just going to have to...
They are listening to our every word, though.
That's what I'm saying, so you're going to have to bear with me. Excuse me, production, if we could...
throw up the toilet issue.
We need toilet issue graphic. Toilet issue graphic.
And if anyone doesn't like their chair, it's a chair issue.
Yes, that's true.
Nothing will be better than Bang complaining that his chair sucked, and then a second
player being like,
no.
Yeah, mine too.
There was a second pause, and they didn't know why, and they're like, it turns out Wolf also doesn't like his chair. Brendan was so over it.
They needed to have chair synergy. That's important.
To be fair, we got nice chairs. We got the same chairs the players do. They're very nice.
Oh, is LS in the chat? Let me have a look.
Jin Air, please win a game.
No,
and the saddest of Ibichus in the right picture
I got
there.
debated so hard. Jin Air, please win a game. Well, they've already won a game. They just haven't won a match.
Jin Air Greenwings for one win, and Griffin for first place. I mean, that's a bit of a scattered thing on the left there. You probably can't have both, sadly. You could win one game, I guess. Get to 5 game wins. That's something.
I think, yeah. Glad Plane Rise Up. Here to see the G2 kills again, and we're going to put it back up on the screen. That is too many Morellonomicons. But I'm going to need one.
I think
if
it's
I get
just
freezed
enough
out,
Morellonomicons.
Just enough.
Whoa, that's not a glad one. That's a surly plane. Whoa!
Whoa,
Root
that
just
is-
shot me in the face.
He really did. He hologrammed at us.
Whoa. That's not okay. So there's more global fans. Bonus global
hey
fans.
guys.
They're overflowing into the arena.
This is what happens when you can't get a seat. You're just allowed to stand in the corridor. I didn't even know this. This is cool.
I'm not going to say that out loud because I don't know that to be true, but they're there now.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely being sarcastic, guys. I don't think that is the case.
Whoa!
I'm not sure what's going on there.
There's a Griffin. I don't know what that emote pack is. I have that emote pack.
I have that
as you
emote
know.
pack as well.
It's
yeah.
so adorable.
Wasn't it Gorilla that showed you
Yeah.
that one first? Oh,
So Gorilla has 2
cute.
emote packs on Kakao I always associate with him. It's this one that's like, I don't know how to describe it.
The one with the fan is absolutely adorable.
So his
It's just-
best emote pack is definitely the Gorilla pack.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
just like,
Dude,
sad Gorilla.
my personal trainer has exactly the same emote
Gorilla pack?
and only uses that. Yes, that exact one.
Yeah, but it's Gorilla, using the Gorilla pack.
I know, it's
amazing.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
More global fans in the audience. Lovely to have you here today, sir.
I can
We
understand.
talk about not video games.
Yep, I can understand that you are certainly feeling a little bit bored at this situation. We're
Fair
trying our very best to be as entertaining as possible.
Now we're just doing catch the global fan. Is
Yeah,
what we've
that's what
decided
we're
we're going to do.
It's like, hey guys, let's just scan the audience and see who we can put on camera.
We ran out of signs, it turns out. We got signs, then global fans, and
What
then...
we also
Whoa, a
need...
G2 fan.
Oh my goodness.
No, we forgot.
Hey Korea, remember?
No, I
Side
don't.
2019.
Oh, even the Korean fans could understand that one. The
What?
Korean casters noticed it, and they're not happy.
Damn.
There's some cheeky bants going on here from this fan. He knows what's up.
He certainly knows where to find the merch store as well. I mean, G2 made some money
He
off
just
this
kissed
gentleman.
the G2 logo. Carlos is already wiring him money.
I could imagine. I could imagine. That is a worthy fan right there. Aw. So, is that a Chovy there in the middle?
Wait,
Adorable. This one down here.
I believe so.
Oh no, it's Viper. It's Viper.
No, it's Viper. Yeah,
It's Viper.
Viper. I can read that.
Viper shoulder.
We got it.
Oh man.
So many things on here. 12th grade, left 12th grade to watch Jin Air win a match. So dodging school, and we approve it here in the LCK.
Oh, that's a Bible thump though, isn't it? Dodge school to watch what has happened so far. I mean, I guess
What
you
was the
can't
most
call it over till
entertaining
it's
thing
over.
you dodged school to do?
Play Donkey Konga at home with my friends.
I mean, that's something.
I didn't dodge school very much until.
Did you never go on like a family trip that took you out of school for a while?
Oh, okay, that's another point. I did the Northern Territory tour with my parents when I was 10.
Huh. I went to Australia. Sorry, I went from Australia to England. for the first time to meet family.
You certainly went a lot further than
I was like 9, and then it's weird that you can do that, right?
Yeah.
Because like as education goes on and on, like from year 11 onwards, like so serious. But like when you're 9, it's like I'm leaving school for a month, and they're like, yeah,
cool, man. I had to do a project while I was on the road. While I was in the Northern Territory. It was actually really cute. My teacher at that point in time was like, oh, well, Max, if you're going to miss class, then I'm going to need you to do this, 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 this,
Did she really sound like a comedy person trying to be a teacher?
Of course she did. Of course she did. In my memory, she did. And that's all that matters, really.
Oh, we've got a very important update. Sieze keeps blowing his nose, apparently.
Oh, no!
A runny nose?
Does he have the sniffles? That might be the downfall of Jin Air. I had my money on them. I'm going to have to switch my bets, I think. I'll eat honey fruit rather than hitting the Nexus.
I mean, this is a person whose priorities are definitely set.
That's way up there. That being said, think about how much honey fruit you could buy for 50 gold.
It's a sword phone case.
That Viper phone case.
Yeah,
though,
that's very sensual. It's very sensual on the left side there, I gotta say.
So you know how in Korea, in the station, we've got all of those happy birthdays to all the K-pop stars? That looks like it could be Viper's one. Absolutely.
Viper could definitely be a K-pop star.
Oh,
I don't know if he can sing, but I think he can pull it off.
Yep. Cheongo singing, so apparently Cheongo can sing.
He can sing stories about Zed. That's what we're going to listen to. We want to see him play Zed.
Lullabies, Papa Smithy, so that we can get Zed.
Oh my god, why do we never have lull state lullabies?
Oh my
I know.
God. If we ever make it out of a lull state, we should just call it the lullaby.
If we have a lull state, should we try and sing a lullaby without prepping any of the lyrics?
Yeah, that sounds like a disaster. Perfect. Yeah, let's do that.
I would say that a lot of our casting is imminent disaster averted at the last possible moment by laughing and or failing.
Yeah, it's like it's the same. It's fun for the same reason a roller coaster is, you know.
Oh, this is obviously a really cool sign, but there's a lot of context here we're missing.
That's the death meme of.
I got that,
Griffin
but
going to all
they
of
actually
the different
circled
doors.
some of the text in blood. Like it would have been really good. But
yeah.
Unfortunately, our Korean proficiency isn't correct.
Damn, Ciese's he's now got the whole box of tissues. Look at all those dead tissues there.
That's true.
Man's got some serious sniffles.
I wonder
we should change his name to Sneeze.
If you have a medical emergency before the game ever starts, which obviously is a little bit further than we're seeing right now, can they just bring Malrang back in?
I guess so.
Nothing started yet. I don't know. I don't know if Riot has a ruling like that. We don't have too many health infractions. That was loud.
Yeah.
Oh!
Here we go. Podcast over.
Crisis averted.
That's all you're going to get. That is all you're going to get. We're straight back in. I wonder whether the bands will be the same. I think most likely they will. As we've got back in there. Thanks for bearing with us, guys.
We had like 5 bands, right?
We did. We had Silas, Akali, Kennen on the side of the Jin Air Greenwings, and Renekton Skarn taken away by Griffin. If things change, then we are in that paradoxical universe that time travel may have caused.
And if it is a 2-0, as it's looking at the moment, the fans actually just got a shorter break. Because we got to give you guys some bonus content before we get into game number 2. So the hour-and-a-half break is looking unlikely. And who knows? Maybe we're going late extra innings.
Exactly. I mean, there are a lot of fan members that we got to see in very close-up detail that were very keen on having the Jin Air victory.
There's nothing I appreciate more than high-contrast, high-resolution fans.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, Tarzan actually going to ban away one of his own champions against Sieze.
Sieze had a pretty good game on the Evelyn in their last series.
He did.
Jin Air not going to give Lehends over his Yuumi. I would take that as a very smart decision.
Yep.
The Yuumi win rate, just like the Olaf win rate, misleading when it is Griffin. But guess who can play reverse matchups?
Lehends can. And also, there's a reason why this matchup is chosen against the Yuumi. Definitely works very, very well. Catch the kitty cat sleeping on her book.
Let's get out.
Let's do it.
I mean, it's
we need an
not
homage.
Bad. That's true. We haven't been able to say goodbye to old Pantheon. And you know what? He's not that bad on this patch. He's okay.
Yeah. He's probably better than the new one.
What are we playing with Yummy? I'm not sure if we want the Yummy Callista lane.
We definitely want Bullet Hell because it's just a fun lane to talk about. The Lucian going to be locked in here for Jin Air Greenwings. Cullings and Chapters flying out everywhere.
See if we're going to get a Aatrox answer potentially rolled out. Now, Chovy does have a penchant for the mid lane Aatrox still, so a little bit harder to get your pick your favorite Aatrox counter here. This would be the opposite of Zed if it was going to be locked in.
This looks like, the epitome of the bed instead of Zed. Cheongo's going to lock it in, though, and Get your snooze buttons ready. Because you'll need to set some alarms to keep yourselves awake if we're going to be watching that mid lane too much. Viper is going to lock away the Kai'Sa, so the Kai'Sa volley bear standard lane is going to come in. Follow up very easy, as Big Chungus did indeed let us down. TaNa might be playing it.
That's true.
So
you can push in the Aatrox and then leash him.
You said, is there going to be an Aatrox answer? By golly, I hope there is.
Now if the Zed comes out, we'll be thoroughly whelmed.
We will be. And you can just be whelmed, by the way, guys. I heard from that European fan in the audience who brought his G2 jersey.
Well, Tarzan doesn't want to play Olaf, so he's going to choose to ban it away. It is Sieze, who, as we know, has played Kai'Sa jungle. He's played Karthus jungle. We're waiting for his Kindred to come back. He plays all the crazy stuff, so...
Yeah, that's why Viper picked the Kai'Sa, by the way, to take it.
Yeah, denial pick.
Sieze's
all right.
power pick. Let's just ignore how that
Where's
game
McCorky
went.
versus Azir? What's going on?
Well, I mean, at least we don't get that. We get Karma, which is
Good
arguably
news.
worse.
LEC's on later. Plenty of Corky versus Azir.
Hey, perfect. There we go.
We'll leave it to Europe. That G2 fan will be very excited.
Yeah, he will. Not the please play Tristana fan, though. Obviously, another one.
Irelia are going to be banned out here.
With the Sejuani ban, it's an interesting ban.
It's just against an Aatrox lane somewhere, so I think it's fine.
Is Camille better, though, arguably, in that lane?
But do Jin Air play Camille that well? Probably not.
Do they play Irelia well?
I think better than we've seen TaNa play Irelia before.
That's true.
It's one of the champions he's actually confident on from solo queue. Camille, they're not putting as much respect into. Griffin kind of play whatever they want here, so I'm not going to be doing any predicting of picks. Just want to see where they go. A lot is open, right? Mid lane champion pool is about as wide open as can be. Only the Akali is a true mid laner. Oh, the hey!
There we go.
Well,
the bug is back.
The Papa Prophet in terms of they could play whatever they want. They decide it's Kha'Zix time. It is the second Kha'Zix contest. I believe it's been banned once. No, it's been picked once and banned 0 times, and it lost.
Yeah.
I forget who played it. Scorer is definitely a regular Kha'Zix player, but I don't know if it was him this time. It might have been Bono.
It might have been Bono, or it might have been... Let me see if I have the stat.
I think you've got the stat
hand.
somewhere there.
It might be in here. So I thought maybe it'd be Malrung, but it wasn't. So
They wouldn't dare put it into mid lane, right?
Kha'Zix mid?
I mean, Alex Itch approved.
Absolutely.
Oh, just do it. There's actually a good time for it. You can just kill Kha'Zix.
Give us the Zed before bed.
Come on, Cheongo.
You might be able to play it in the mid lane as well.
Let's
Chovy
do
might
it,
be playing
baby.
it. Let's do it.
Big Chungus. You know you want to do it.
He's holding on to it.
Big Chungus.
Switch to Cork.
No!
There we go. Oh, my God, no.
Oh.
Then the switch back to Azir.
Well.
Oh, God.
He tried. He tried to lock it in. We almost teamoed him and gave it to him anyway.
Yeah. Wow. He was going to have fun until the very end when fun was cancelled.
Off to bed goes Twitch chat. We lost 20,000 viewers, Atlas. We didn't have 20,000, so they're all gone now. Not on Twitch, just alone.
All right.
Mordecai, sorry.
Mordecai comes in. So, enabled. If LS was watching, he'd be like, why? Because this champion's a bit crap. But we are going to see it regardless.
Where is he going? Because actually Azir is a pretty good counterpick to Mordecai's top. We saw this in the LEC, I believe. Might have been the LPL already as a matchup. And Karma also seems frustrating. Because you can't do the Yorick Mori of just putting them in the cage and your jungler kills them. Because you also have to go alone with them.
And you also rely a lot on auto-attacking them if you're going to do anything in lane. And auto-attacking a Karma is really difficult to do. Karma deals with fiercely melee champions very well.
Griffin decided that Mordekaiser and Kha'Zix will have a victory on their watch, is what they're trying to do here. Look at how weird and wonderful their comp is. They have Volibear, Kha'Zix, and Mordekaiser. I would go so far as to say these three champions have never played together in pro play before. Almost 100%.
Guaranteed. And they're not exactly the youngest champions as well. So that is a cool one. Well,
there never really was the Volibear meta. Out of like 1 or 2 patches, it was jungle contested over like 7 years.
I remember Snoopy playing it back in the day.
There's a blast from the past. A former LCK runner-up. Champions runner-up, we should say.
Also an innovator when it came to being an advocate, you know, sort of being an influencer. He was
Champions Summer 2012. 2-0 up against Azubu Frost. Cloud Templar remembers that game.
Yep, that is true. I remember that game. Brendan Valdez remembers that game.
That's true.
He was commentating it with double lift.
He was, yep.
Yeah. Oh, how times have changed. But We'll see whether it changes for Jin Air Greenwings here as we move onto the Rift for game number 2. I have word, Papa Smithy, that it's probably good that we didn't read out that sign.
All right. Yeah. Nice. Which one? The Swiss one?
The Swiss one, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
It wasn't necessarily
But
rude, but it was a bit provocative.
Well, you know what else is provocative? Mordekaiser Kha'Zix on patch 915. That is
right.
loose, I would say, in terms of drafting. It's good that I didn't try to predict things, because this was the unpredictable.
Yes, I don't think there's ever going to be a chance where that one's an easy. Oh yeah, obviously Mordekaiser pick up here, especially not when it's a Siege Karma.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like the laning phase will be his great point.
Yeah, we went from Griffin having like the absolute best priority lanes
Also, would
possible
Kha'Zix ever go there? Because like, if you miss the pull, which he can walk out of, you got nothing to help Kha'Zix with at all.
Yeah, it's just entirely bad.
Wow. Griffin, again, being pretty loose here. And Jin Air, to their credit, their late fade was pretty hot in one of their recent series, so nice to see they're staying active. Sadly, they are scoped out on a ward. Chovy, like we mentioned, is one of our few mid lane Aatrox players. See a lot of this on the LEC, but we don't see it on the LCK too often.
Yep.
Gone predictably into the Ravenous Hunter Taste of Blood. And also second win for the... Yeah, Azir still hurts quite a lot on patch 915 before his nerfs, and I'm going to do my best.
Yep, and I'm glad that we mentioned the 2018 Summer Final as well, because that was when Chovy was playing a lot of the Aatrox mid lane. That was sort of back in the
Urgot
time.
as well, remember?
And the Urgot.
That was Urgot's first kind of coming out party after not being a meta pick. We had a 3-week break because of the Asian Games, came back for the final, KT versus Griffin, and suddenly Urgot was picked back.
Yep. It was really crazy, actually, given the fact that we had no experience on that patch. Going to be different this time around, I believe. As, you can see Root and Nova having a decent time here in this lane. Feels like we've had just a bit of a role reversal. Instead of the Ezreal, it is going to be the Lucian, which is arguably a worse team in the laning phase.
But the Kai'Sa, obviously a ranged auto attacker, and suddenly synergy here is still there for Kai'Sa. The thing that I'll say about Kai'Sa lanes is that level 2 Kai'Sa gets the most 2v2 kills of any AD carry because that burst of misting damage with Ignite. Volibear does a lot of damage on his all-in, and it's the sort of thing that you can easily lose track of. So if you've got a high burst AD carry with her Plasma Explosion and also a high burst support, you got to actually be keeping your thinking cap on as Jin Air, and if you look at Root, he's been very respectful. It's Barrier, and he has Heal Exhaust from his Yuumi.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about this Griffin composition because it's not all insanity. I mean, I feel like they're not
Talk to me, come on. Riddle me this, Atlas.
They're not entirely picking just to flex around. Chovy, of course, is able to make this look like a counter matchup, which is pretty cool. But Doran as well, picking Mordekaiser into Yuumi is just a good idea. Because you take the cat away from anyone that they can join in with, and she just dies by herself in the death realm.
That is a fun interaction that I hadn't considered. Good point there.
Yep.
That's so sad, though.
That's what I utilized, and I was playing. I had my cat sitting next to me, and I was like, "Okay, sorry, boys. I'm never going to do that again." It was very anti-feline. Because there's just nothing the Yuumi can do. She's by herself. She's just dead.
Well, there's something I can do to try to push this broadcast forward, Atlas, and let's talk about Kha'Zix's jungle tendency from Tarzan, because he actually played this in solo queue 20 hours ago. It is still Qmax, QW, so the skill order hasn't changed. We don't have the evolve order here, so you would assume Q. Now, he had a cheeky tier in his inventory.
I saw that.
Towards, you would assume, a Manamune, but...
But he bought it after all of his items.
Yeah.
So maybe a surrender vote was maybe
very possible. He was selling a warrior in chat, so
he did win the game, guys, so he wasn't griefing.
But it's a Moby Boots, high pressure, lethality into working it out build from Kha'Zix. Maybe we drop the tier, and we just wait and see if he can actually find a lot of inroads, because if you look at his lanes, Atlas, he kind of has to go bottom to do anything. He's got no CC top outside of the pull, which is going to be difficult to pull off. Again, Aatrox requires quite a bit of setup as well. So kind of Volibear is his best hit and hope when it comes to a lane, and suddenly Volibear flashes on you, and theoretically, Kai'Sa could swoop off screen and invisible Kha'Zix could join.
I also think that as far as isolation is concerned, Mordekaiser Kha'Zix is the coolest gank lane possible.
Wait.
Death Realm pulls everyone away, so it pulls 2 people out of it. Mordekaiser no longer there, and the opponent no longer there, so if it's a counter gank, then it's just jungle v jungle.
So what you're saying is in a 2v2,
in a
it
2v2
makes it
it's
isolated.
2 1v1s, right? And Mordekaiser likes 1v1s, Kha'Zix likes 1v1s. It's genius!
For that very small scenario during lane.
Hey, and the Yuumi thing? Yeah, alright. Shut up, I'm looking for options here, alright?
I need different glasses, because yours is just faulty at this point.
Well, I can see a lot of, there's bouquets in these glasses.
It's pronounced bouquet.
Bouquet. Isn't that a camera effect? Where it blurs the background?
I don't know much about cameras, Atlas.
That's the bokeh effect.
I just try to smile sweetly, that's all I thought when it comes to cameras.
Well, it has to do with focal length. Anyway, Jin Air not doing a whole lot. Sees did have a Yuumi for a moment. Viper had a Yuumi problem for a moment there, but able to use the supercharger pretty effectively. Looks like Viper is likely going to be heading towards the Manimune build, but has decided to go for pickaxe for a bit of extra laning pressure in the early game. Building a TF feels awful.
And if you look at Jin Air's side, because we're trying to kind of make heads or tails of Griffin, who have gone for some fun picks here, I would say mostly. Jin Air actually have a really, really, really strong mid-game if they group with the Karma here, right? 2-item Lucian. Azir, 1-item onwards is already pretty strong. They have engaged. They have strong, consistent damage. I think Jin Air have a lot going on, and TaNa says, I don't know what's going on with this Mordekaiser pick, but I'm not sticking in the Death Realm any longer than I have to.
Yep, QSS just going to put his headband on and everything's going to be fine. So that scenario that I was looking at, not going to be applicable. But he is going to miss out on a hell of a lot of mana regen and a lot of pressure here in this lane by rushing towards that QSS that Doran's not really going to care about during the laning phase. You only really use that Death Realm when it gets, you know, when push comes to shove, you know?
Well, here's a simple fact. He's way down in CS, right? Against Mordekaiser, which doesn't strike me as ideal. He has the Kleptomancy, so I'm sure he's been able to proc that a little bit.
Yeah, he's got some money out of it, but I don't think Doran really cares too much. He's playing for his lane state.
About 8 CS down, because we're finally seeing the minion waves break again.
Yep, and Doran, importantly, doesn't have to use his teleport to get back to lane. So now that that level 6 has been hit, now level 7, of course, he does have the opportunity to get a teleport down towards the bottom side and start feasting on cats.
I'm looking forward to that interaction, but it sounds very
sad.
Yeah. Like you had a friend and then the friend disappeared.
It's not good at all. That being said, Yuumi does have to use the you and me, I believe, in order for it to be targetable, of course. So Nova is okay, but as soon as she leaves her host,
just to be clear,
dead.
Let's say I'm Yuumi. I'm chilling out, rocking on along with the Lucian. Yeah. You know, trying to give him heals. I'm a part of the Lucian. If Lucian is ulted, what happens?
Oh, that's a good point. I think that you...
Does Yuumi stay, or does Yuumi jump?
I think you pop. I think you pop. Let me have a look. Let me do
I don't know if there's actually enough research out there on this. I'm not actually sure if Yuumi joins you in the Shadow Realm or not.
Having a look.
Congratulations
on the Ocean Drake.
Don't worry, you didn't need to look.
I'm going to have a look at some details here.
So I'm going to be a devil in the details here, Atlas. Mordekaiser is 13 CS up on Karma, and Aatrox is 10 CS up on Azir. I feel like that shouldn't be that. It feels a little bit out of order.
Hey, so you're telling me
I think
Griffin
maybe, just maybe, Jin Air does not have as much solo lane talent as Griffin.
Is that your expert analysis?
It's
final
my
answer?
thesis statement.
Oh, okay.
I haven't finished my master's just yet.
Okay.
My PhD is still on the back burner.
Trying to work out whether it's going to be on whether or not Jin Air's laning phase is up to snuff against Griffin. That's your PhD topic? That's going to be final answer on that one too?
It is, indeed. Well, I wanted something I could do the last minute, you know, the day before, and that seemed like that would fit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to get as many pages as a PhD generally has out of that particular topic. I think you'd exhaust it relatively quickly, but if you're known for doing anything, Papa Smithy, it is continuing a point for as long as you feel you want to.
I'm going to talk about it till I'm done talking about it.
Exactly. Whether or not you've said the same thing multiple different ways, multiple different times.
And if you don't like it, consider other streams.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's
We're all in, baby.
All right, the final chapter has been read out. Here is Root. He's going to go down relatively low, but Doran going to grab a whole lot. The picture-in-picture shows the Death Realm as Root's trying to deal with it. Doran, the darkness certainly does rise as Mordekaiser picks up first blood. LS, you were wrong. Mord is a power pick here in the LCK.
I'm all about making really hard statements about Jin Air versus Griffin game number 2. So, yep. Absolutely, you can have your way with chatting with LS about that later in the week. I'm sure he'll have a retort. Tarzan says a big nope to there being a free Shelly on the top side, and now Kha'Zix's going to go into the lane. It's lane Kha'Zix now.
That's what we wanted. Ambition.
I
want to be watching the Ambition restream right now.
But not in top, and yeah, that actually would be a good watching right now.
Hell yeah. He'd be reminiscing about time spent playing against a certain Italy player.
And getting solo killed by that Italy player at level 1.
Pesky Rapscallion.
At level 6, I should get.
Yep.
Famously, in case you guys somehow missed it for the longest time, he was skilling up his W for lane and got hit by a spear and solo killed by FLICKR.
Yep.
That was 6 years ago.
Debut game, I believe.
Champions Spring 2013. It was his debut game in Champions, as we're just watching the replay of Doran bonk people.
Yep. And he's playing the correct skin as well. The King of Clubs, my personal favorite, before the rework. Not entirely sure what my favorite is now. I know they murdered one of the skins, which is a bit sad, but the fact that Infernal Mordekaiser is the thing worth picking now is kind of cool.
I'm Mordekaiser agnostic.
You are?
Yeah,
I'm a gigantic Mordekaiser fanboy, as you know.
You are? For the longest time.
I did play Death Knight in World of Warcraft as well, so I'm okay with a lot of the name changes. Not exactly as rock-focused now.
As you know from this broadcast and from our chats, and also from me not responding in group chats, I have no opinion on World of Warcraft. I still have never played it. To all the people recommending me play Classic, no.
Well, I mean, okay, here we go. We're sending Chovy underneath the turret, and Chovy's world-ending his way out of there. He's world-ending the trade. Possibly Cheongo's life here, as he does have flash available. Could be turning this. Is going to flash defensively instead, as Tarzan, they're going to rely on him to lock down that damage. Sand Soldier's not enough.
Guess who's coming?
In comes Mordekaiser. Doran looking to obliterate Cheongo out of this one. The dash cannon is in. And Cheongo is out. Shifting Sand's going to be enough as a response, but he's going to take his crockery, and TaNa needs to turn up in this lane to stop the rest of it from going down. Need to still have some to eat your sandwiches.
I just realized that we've never talked about crockery in the game with the croc in it. That's one to think about.
Ooh, when the Renekton gets the crockery, dang it.
Yeah. There's a future banger.
Never want a crocodile loose in your IKEA. Absolutely not. That's going to scare the customers away, I think.
I think this Big Bear is doing a good job of scaring Root away. He's going to watch the replay. It was a very, very assertive mid lane play. To be fair, Chovy's been playing with exactly zero respect for anybody this series. He got ulted, and I love how long he holds onto the flash. A lot of people would have considered using the flash way earlier. But he's like
right there to kill Cheongo.
But that would have been with some risk. He waits out the Cataclysm, and then, you know what? They get the kill. They're definitely playing with their food a little bit there, Griffin.
Also, Chovy getting that knock-up, I believe, saved Tarzan's life because it stopped Cheongo from being able to auto-attack with the Sand Soldier he had set up. That was some pretty sweet play there from Griffin. Currently lead 3,000 gold with this hodgepodge composition. And Doran is about as big as you could possibly be. I think Doran is going to be going for a pretty standard build here on the Mordekaiser, heading for the dash cannon into something like Aurelia's Crystal Scepter, into Liandry's Torment to be pretty tanky and to do about a bajillion damage with your creeping death.
What about, and I know this is a favorite of yours, Morello.
Oh,
I know.
Think about the value that can I list off the value that it's going to get?
I'm listening.
So they weren't able to steal the Ocean Drake, but that is in the pool. So in theory, in the future, an Ocean Drake could go over to Jin Air. Griffin might want to give that one away. Negated. All of that healing, negated. TaNa might want to press his mantra button on a W. Healing, negated. Mountain Drake, negated. Tarzan able to get the smite off onto that one. I can go on. The Zoomies, negated. Morellonomicon, you just read one of the pages out of that, and it says, Yuumi, you're not using that one ability for its maximum effectiveness. You and me, though, maximum effectiveness is going to come out of that one, and Doran going to be taking away this blue buff. Not a hell of a lot of value, but does like cooldown reduction.
Continues to grow a 800 gold lead over Karma. Please don't try this at home. But it's certainly working out. I actually think this is a pretty high value Merlin on because they have Karma with soon to be the Athenes going all in on Viper.
Yeah, gonna have to use the flash there as well in order to get out. The bullet hell was real, and he's gonna get the summoner spell that they were looking for. Just trading a couple of ultimates for that one is a big deal here, especially moving into the mid game, where Griffin are going to be wanting to move around this Kaiser and try and utilize some power. Does have the Manamune done, looking to stack that one up, and does have the first evolution on the queue, as Lehends, standing on a ward, it might just be knocked up and taken down. Sieze jumps on in there. Lehends very, very low. Gonna flash. Does have that passive available, as Root's gonna be able to do enough damage. The You and Me also brings the Yuumi out of any harm's way. Viper without the flash, but does now have to use the ultimate. Griffin are all just going to be hanging out elsewhere on this map and sacrificing their bottom.
I think Lehends was too concerned about his lane and ended up getting taken down. Nice capitalization from Jin Air. They get the bot lane turret to add to the top lane turret that will be already going down. Notice the Rift Herald was not used. Being held onto, and it's going to be 2 turrets for Griffin.
Yeah, trading up here. Griffin, despite Jin Air making a really good play on the bottom side. Doran going to forego the Riley's Crystal Scepter this time around. He's going to head straight towards the Leandries to do a little bit more damage.
My mind is so boggled by these CS numbers from the solo laners.
Yeah. I mean, Doran's finding a lot of farm for a game where he has been murdering people bottom lane as well.
And more, the mid lane 40 CS is also...
I don't like looking at Chovy's farm compared to people because it feels disrespectful.
Well, Lehends seemed like he was doing something else. Maybe he was already but he was caught in the brush there. Nice capitalization from Jin Air. Unfortunately, they lost 2 turrets for it. Chovy has the... Sorry, Viper does have the 100 AD early build. Yep. Have it with a little bit more charging of his Manamune. That means a pick build. And you know what? The one thing that Griffin's comp does very well is outnumber instantly or even just effectively with the Death Realm and get kills. Jin Air being counter-rotated on means that they're going to actually lose 3 outer turrets at 17 minutes with the double melee soul lanes.
Well, Doran easily able to clean this one up. And is looking to go back home. The tank animations are so much cooler. I'm not entirely sure whether I'm a fan of new Mordekaiser versus old Mordekaiser, because I was a bit of a Mordekaiser purist in all of his forms.
Which Mordekaiser are you remembering?
Oh, the first one. Season 4 Mordekaiser was my favorite. Back when Death by a Grasp was a thing, you could just blow people up.
I mean, that Mordekaiser is also really outdated. Right? That's 5 years ago.
Oh, hell yeah. Hey. But the dragon still worked better than the next version of that dragon, that I don't think was ever free of bugs for his entire existence.
That was that great Redditor who would just post 700,000 Mordekaiser bugs.
Yeah.
I hope Riot hired him. He's very process-driven and smart.
Yeah.
Are we doing it?
Well, we're looking for TaNa. Dodges the E. Does at least have the snare available as Doran. Yeah. Okay, gets himself back a bit of his health with the W. An interesting ability, because it has 3 different uses, I believe. 2 or 3. It's just cool, the fact that it sort of evolves as you press it each time.
I just want Mordekaiser to ult someone that doesn't have QSS. That's all I want.
Well, Nova doesn't have one. Kitty Cat could be put in an awkward scenario.
I also want them to ult the carrier of the Yuumi and see how that interaction works.
See whether it gets popped off. So, I was actually having a look at League of Legends fandom.com, which is pretty good for interactions, lists a lot of them, talks a lot about Devour. And what that does is TaNa's going to get pulled back this time. Tarzan actually holding on. Doesn't have the evolved wings just yet. Has evolved W second after the Claw evolution first. That's what he decided to do. We'll see what is the final evolution. At least I believe so. I'm not as akin figuring that out. He does have a second evolution in there, though. Did he change color? He doesn't have that skin well enough.
He's going to have to plop the Rift Herald down very soon. That's all I know for sure.
That's true. He's going to use it now. Thank you very much, Pub Speed.
It goes down. Purple Rift Herald buff with the purple.
Yeah, definitely color coordinated here.
Down. He should buy a Lich Bane.
Hey, yeah. Those claws are going to be doing so many things. The Sieze, look at this gank bottom side. And not going to be pulled back there as it was, the evolved spines.
Jazz kind of just losing this game by PB.
They are, against a Griffin composition that is weak.
What win condition in Civilization is Griffin trying to win? I don't feel like this is some sort of military victory.
This is a cultural victory, definitely. You are going cultural victory. Because this is all about like getting more fans and
But
being
you're saying
cool.
that,
Like
but wouldn't the most cultured LCK fan be a Jin Air? If you think about it.
I mean, does culture... Oh, nice work.
Yeah!
Cheongo steals away
that
the
can
blue
go in the
buff.
highlight package.
Well, like, a cultural victory, if you're talking about it in reference to Civilization, is all about knowing the trends and knowing the cool stuff. And so this is... So basically, it's the hipster award of Civilization. And what are Griffin doing this game? They're going for a hipster.
Now, do you get the cultural... So I don't play a lot of Civ. Do you get the cultural victory by building all the monuments? 'Cause that could be what Jin... It could be that Griffin's building monuments to champions no one else gets wins on.
Well, actually, Monument, now that you mention it, is in fact a building that does give you
But if you
one
win,
culture per turn.
But if you build a certain amount of wonders
the
of the world,
the
right?
world wonders, it depends. So there are certain wonders, certainly a lot of them do give you culture, but some of them don't. Some of them give you science, things like that. The majority do give you a bit of culture, though. That is generally the thing. That's why you build them. So yeah, you can spam. We could, in fact, we could have a Civilization stream if you want. You know, I could teach you
know
the
what
ropes.
I'm kind of interested in? You saw that they're HD remaking Age of Empires.
Empires,
right?
Age of Empires, right? Yeah,
now that sounds fun.
I didn't actually get on the Age of Empires.
Never?
No, because I didn't get the cereal box with the game in it.
No. It was really fun, actually. I'm
yeah,
down for trying
I'd like
it.
to play.
Yeah.
I'd like to play.
That's a fun one. You should definitely get in there.
All right, I'll do it. Doran is getting in there as well. He's taking down inner turrets. This is the Mordekaiser.
This Mordekaiser has so much gold.
He does. And so many levels. He's just been always doing stuff. There's a 6,000 gold lead Papa Smithy. Yeah, I don't know. It's just 2,400 ahead against Kleptomancy.
Now, there's a chance Griffin won't be able to close this game because I don't think they've scrimmed this comp too much. They probably don't know all the win conditions.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So that's something you can hope for.
I mean, a decent win condition is Mordekaiser push all the time, and then if people gank him, take everything else on the map, which I believe is basically what they've been doing.
A pretty good win condition for Mordekaiser to force Ardent Censor and Athene's Unholy Grail Karma to wave clear against you.
Yeah.
Because she's not buffing up anyone.
Nope. I mean, she's buffing up herself, temptedly.
I think they should consider trying to do something.
Yeah, well,
they
Tarzan's
are.
going to be caught out of position.
Okay.
Yeah, Empress Divide's going to come in. No leap is long
right.
enough. Cheongo's going to do it.
And they're not going to get anything, are they?
Well, I mean, they could. Can you run it Baron?
No. They decide no.
If they right click.
They definitely could have TP'd on Baron and then had Azir Lucian try.
Yeah. They got Blade of the Ruined King done. They got 2 items, in fact, on their Lucian. That's a fair bit. TaNa could have teleported on there. I could have lost inhibitor turret down bot, but then they just freeze the wave and deny all of Griffin's resources.
I watched a video about that recently.
No, you didn't.
It's called Frozen or something?
Yeah, it was great. It was really, really good.
I mean, LS recommended it. He was like, watch Frozen, it's great. And I was like, yeah, okay, freezing, sure.
Yeah,
It seemed really good.
Yeah, it was. I think it's a story about sisterly love like that is something that we really need.
I don't really know how it interacts with League of Legends, but it was a great recommendation.
Well, I mean, we talk about movies all the time.
That's true.
I think that recommending a movie, and especially Disney films, that is something that LS and I do often, and we don't do quite as much. You know, we talk about other films. Rob Schneider, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Papa Smith.
Yeah,
really
I don't like Rob Schneider very much.
We did
if Rob Schneider sponsors LCK, I'm sorry, I'm off the broadcast. So we've been laughing about the perma-pushing Doran. Well, now he's got that Ryle, as you mentioned. No Nom-Nomicon, like we wondered. He's really powerful.
Yeah. I think that if you built a Merrill-Nomicon next item, I think that LS wouldn't even be tilted because he's so far ahead, it actually just doesn't matter.
Viper has triple evolve, I believe.
No, you don't.
I think Viper has triple evolve, so that's pretty scary.
Yeah, he's got 3 items sort of out of nowhere.
He just evolved the 3rd as he TP'd in, so he's really powerful.
I love
Karma is still... I think Karma needs to give up on Mordekaiser.
Yeah. Do you know what's really cool about new Mordekaiser? His walk. He's just got such swaggers. Here we go. All right, see you later, Root. Just destroyed. That's what Volibear can do. The Emperor's Divide is going to get Chovy out of there, though. Going to need the World Ender for that extra healing. As Mordekaiser walks his way in. TaNa going to be his first target. Sieze is going to be going down as an afterthought. put into the Death Realm, which is extraordinarily difficult to understand as a play-by-play commentator mid-team fight, but it doesn't matter. He wasn't in there very long because the Death Realm leads to the Death Chamber very quickly with this Mordecai.
They were still able to force something even though they have so little CC on the side of Griffin. They're turning onto the Baron. This is one way to deal with their CC issues. TaNa's pretty low. They're going safety first. I think it's going to be too late, though, for Jin Air.
Lehends has got Hex Splash, and he's in. 1 versus 2. They take down the Baron. They instantly murder the Pigeon Emperor from the mid lane. And Griffin, this is about as styling as you can play the game.
They're styling and they're profiling. The cat knew Nova was straight out of that vessel, not interested at all.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wanted to keep alive and thus got out quickly. Here's the replay. Remember, Jin Air just got the big pick but done nothing with it. Griffin decides to flash in. Flashy play, but true. But the moment the root dies instantly, you know things are going to be just fine from Griffin's perspective.
I mean, Cheongo did almost get some relevant damage down. Sieze's positioning in the backline was decent, but unfortunately, just nothing's enough. It just hasn't been all season.
And then they're just so slow trying to contest the Baron here. I don't know what the best case scenario is. I just love the cat. Like, nope. Yep. Fair enough.
Yeah. I didn't see the Death Realm onto the cat, though. That's the sad part.
Ooh.
We didn't get to see the interaction situation.
The Morello Yes Macon is coming on very soon.
Ooh.
Loving it. Loving it.
Morello nom 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 nomicon, because he's just getting fed.
Look, I'm hungry. I don't want to talk about food, and I'm a big fan of Morello Nomicon.
Do you know
in
what?
this game.
Do you know what news I have for you, Papa Smithy?
I'm listening.
I have a feeling this is going to be a 2-0. We might be able to get you to the canteen in time.
All right. As long as I get some TaNa going on soon.
Yeah.
Preferably the bush variety. I'll be very excited. Griffin
Really?
get to roll up here.
Feel like a widgety grub? That's what you're into right now?
That's what I have a hankering
Some yams? I don't know whether we have
Yams are sweet potatoes.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I never really knew. I just liked the word.
Well, Doran is going to be able to go to the Shadow Realm here.
Yep, he can choose his target here as well, as Sieze is the one that's going to join him in, not join him in the Death Chamber, but in the Death Realm. Gonna get over there, locks him down. The Mordekaiser is still alive, has the W available as well, eats the shield for some health. And no one on Griffin are gonna be dying in this particular moment. Rutho gonna see what he can do. His Prowling Projectile is going to look for the Mordekaiser, but he's too scary. He's a big boy.
He is indeed. And he had those extra stats rocking, seizing the day by killing Jarvan.
Yep.
In that particular engage. The gold lead is in silly territory. I don't necessarily know it from the gameplay. Griffin haven't really adjusted, but it is 11,000 plus gold between the two. Tarzan trying to be a side lane Kha'Zix. He really hasn't done much of anything this game.
Nope. But he got to play a cool bug in the jungle, which I assume made him happy. Because honestly, their lanes went so unprecedentedly well that it didn't even really matter what Tarzan did, as long as he denied Sieze from getting too many.
To be honest, if I'm going to be like Papa Smithy, serious analyst, it's kind of annoying that Tarzan got to do nothing while Mordekaiser and Aatrox one lane against Karma and Azir. Like, yeah, you're only teaching bad habits. When it comes to what other teams will take away from this, Sieze did his best to try to open up space, but that duration too damn long. Taken down for a second time is Jarvan the fourth, and just waiting on Griffin to put out that death push.
Yep, no longer an Iron Man shield, but Doran still having the availability of that one. Pops it to get that big shield towards the end. There was no way that Mordekaiser was dying after the Death Realm was initiated. It's against a target without a QSS. Yeah, just... This is a Jin Air that don't really have much of a hope, and I'm hoping that having a little bit of extra time is going to help them really get over this whole season, put it behind them, so that the promotion tournament is something that they can use as a full reset.
A lot of time to build up, but also a lot of time to wallow. And it'll be very interesting to see which Jin Air hits the Rift post the World's Qualification Tournament. I don't believe dates are public yet, but early September is your best bet on that one.
Yep.
All right. Viper has a lot of ability power, so he's ready to blow up some people, and with the Zonias, he can also YOLO as well.
There's an Edge of Night on Tarzan as well. I'm just going to leave that out there. Don't really want to talk about why it exists. It just does.
Need another Dirk item.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, but I mean, there's no Ghost Blade yet, so.
He's got Moby Boots.
Okay, that's true. Doesn't need the extra movement. Okay, Jin Air just trying to hold on to their base. Currently, it's not broken. 30 minutes into this game, Griffin have taken everything else, however, and are now a large amount of gold ahead. Not entirely sure what they're sitting on as far as money is concerned, but you can just have a look towards the bottom of your screen to see quite what it means for Griffin.
But we also have to kind of zoom out just to take us off the topic of what it means for Jin Air, because again, they will be 0-18 if this game does go as expected to a Griffin victory. It would be the worst record of any LCK team. Second worst of all time was, in fact, Jin Air in spring season, going 1-17.
Yep.
But stat line worse. I would argue the gameplay a little bit better in summer, but that hasn't mattered. They would join kind of Shanghai Dragons, who of course were 0-40 last season. You might say, okay, but longer season in the Overwatch League. Remember that it's 1-35 also for Jin Air in regular season gameplay in 2019.
So it's a really rough one. And if you have a look at it then from a game score perspective as well, it does feel like a very scarily large number. Despite the fact that they were able to win a few games here and there this season, just hasn't been a Jin Air that... It's sort of like when you're playing solo queue for too long and you're losing for too long and you've forgotten how to win.
I think there have been worse teams than this Jin Air lineup in the LCK. Again, Sonic Boom is one I'll point to, but even if you don't include that, remember that in the Champions days you lost 6 games and you were out. Team Dark existed, but we're trying to fight here.
Yep, Griffin's diving in. Chovy gets there maybe a little bit too early, but has the stopwatch. Viper dives forward as well, but finally we found the damage. In goes the leap. The Azir is dead. Somehow Griffin are just utilizing their wallets so beautifully to murder this Jin Air roster. The Emperor's Divide was god tier. Jin Air pressed their buttons, but unfortunately it felt like they were disabled on the damage front.
Indeed, Atlas. This will be the end of the game. Jin Air will go down 1-35 in terms of match score in spring and summer. 4-35, I believe, in terms of game score in summer season. Griffin do it. They need one more match win, any win over Hanwha Life on Sunday, and they will be the first LCK team guaranteed to go to both playoffs, grand final, and World Championships 2019.
Yep, one victory away from being first place regular season every single time they've been in the LCK, despite summer in 2018 being tied with KT for that position and losing out on head-to-head. So this is a very, very strong regular season team, still yet to prove themselves in playoff scenarios or world gauntlets. If we remember back to your FLICKR Freaks taking them to 5 games and then Gen G crushing their hopes. In 2018, Griffin really wanting to bounce back, and World's not going to be a question mark as they're going to be going. They can cross the next hurdle.
It's still an if, because they haven't been able to perform in those scenarios before, but Chovy's smiling. They got to have a bit of fun here. There wasn't too much brain power behind Griffin's comp. They just wanted to get over the line, and they did.
Yep.
Jin Air's sub-squad aren't able to keep them competitive. Doran
still getting used to
the cameras, because it's a big move from just playing in your PC bung or in your home, moving all the way to pro play, and we already saw the emotion he showed in that SKT series. And now just having to get to understand what am I as a brand? What am I as a character on screen? How am I going to interact with this new fan base? I wasn't expecting top main. Played in that KSG Seoul tournament, and amusingly, KSG Seoul were famous for beating Hanwha Life as an amateur team in Kesper Cup. If Doran, who was on that team as top main, beats Hanwha Life on Sunday, it will guarantee a slot into Worlds.
Yep, I believe Plex was on that team as well. Yep. Another sub-player for Griffin that moved over to the LPL and also did great things over there. A lot of skill on that particular KG roster, which is often just regional best players of amateur leagues.
They didn't even have a coach, Atlas.
Yeah.
Didn't have a coach, and they beat Hanwha Life, which obviously put out the early warning marks for Hanwha Life. They weren't able to win the next match, but it was a impressive performance for Plex, who, like you mentioned, is over on LNG, but has been around Korea recently.
Yep.
Visiting his old teammates. Kanavi also around the LCK recently as well. Big smiles from Lehends. He got to play Yuumi, so of course
He did.
he was a happy man.
And also got to have fun on a bear, went in for that crazy engage and got to otherwise sit in brushes and die, which is seems like a Lehends thing that he enjoys. I think Flash missing cocoons and dying in brushes is something that Lehends has done too many times.
Building redemption, he's good at that too.
Oh, that's true. Him and Tarzan, definitely redemption buddies right there. And they're looking for redemption. Honestly, I mean, as far as segues go, it's a pretty good one moving into a playoffs that's going to once again have Griffin towards the top. Where they're going to be is still undecided, but that top spot could certainly be a Griffin special if they're able to take down a Hanwha Life squad.
But interestingly, this was the season when that never felt like an inevitability like it did in their first season and also spring, where they were right up the top and you were just kind of counting down the days. Griffin have been up and down, largely down, I would say, for summer season, but also able to beat the teams below them more often than not. So it's actually a big surprise when first SKT and Damwon Gaming were both being pushed towards first spot. Both of them have fallen away. Damwon Gaming can get close, but unlikely to exceed Griffin. Griffin just need to beat Hanwha Life by any score. Now Griffin come in, they've reinvented themselves with Doran. It does mean a different predicament for them. And speaking of different predicaments, congratulations to Mordekaiser on his LCK victory. The last LCK Mordekaiser victory I remember was Pumandu playing support Mordekaiser back in the same season we were talking about, Champion Spring 2013.
Did we not get any Juggernaut Mordekaiser
Possible,
when he was
but
super busted?
I don't remember those. I choose to remember the support Mordekaiser.
Yep, that would make some sense. I also remember that as being my most painful season of all time, 2015. World Championships was when Mordekaiser was absolutely busted, but this was a Mordekaiser that was absolutely fed, which is what Papa Smithy can now be. Now that we have made it through this series, you can now grab yourself a bite to eat for our second one.
I don't think there'll be any bear on the menu, but Jin Air got at least their customary highlight for their next game they play. I wonder if we'll have highlights in the promo card.
Oh, here we go. And Tarzan dying as well in this moment. These were the 2 kills that Jin Air were able to get. Very surprising that they weren't able to get one in either of these last 2 team fights, given the compositions that Griffin have.
Well, I mean, Griffin made their hodgepodge comp look like a team fight because they had a big goal lead and because they're better players. And that is unfortunately more than Jin Air can deal with. You know, I'm not convinced we'll see the Mordekaiser again, but it won, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure whether in a different scenario against a different top laner, whether this would have happened again. I mean, you missed a lot of Death's Grasp, apart from this one, passing just a little bit. And the Indestructible here, just giving him the huge shield. Doesn't even need to use it until really, really late, and then eats it for a bunch of health. This feels like he's actually indestructible. Chovy, maybe this was a bit early, maybe it didn't matter. Oh god, Lehends is so much trouble.
Means also, Jin Air won't get an interview in summer, which is also kind of sad when you think about it. No winners interviews for them, right?
Yeah.
They weren't able to win a match. Jin Air go down. I'd love to tell you they went down fighting, but I don't think that was the case so much today. Seemed to understand their own mortality. Wasn't a perfect game, but it wasn't a competitive one. Griffin soldier on, and Hanwha Life will be a different predicament, you'd assume, on the final day of the season, given that probably nothing will be guaranteed in terms of their relegation survival.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Especially if Kingzone fall to KT Rolster, that is when things need to start happening for Hanwha Life. Hanwha just needing to win one more, I believe, to guarantee that they will be out of that relegation zone. KT need to win one and hope to God that this team, Griffin, are able to take down Hanwha Life. And Doran looking to try and help there as he's going to pick up the MVP for his Mordekaiser performance.
No one's done it better in the new Mordekaiser because no one's really gotten to do it. But he got in there. He wanted to have that first victory on the newest of Mordekaiser. You wouldn't mess with this guy in the sickest of threads, the greatest of ultimates.
And I feel like him, like Mordekaiser and Volibear have the most swaggy walks. You know, as far as like, we're gonna mess you up.
What about Heimerdinger when you change it to a swag walk?
So that's literal swag walk. This is like badass walk, you know? Like that sort of swag walk.
He also has very big thumps and thwonks. His sounds are really
good. The thonks are pretty good. Almost as good as hitting a cleaver if you're TPA mode.
What about Jax hitting the turret?
Oh, that's
those are some thwacks.
Oh, you're a thwomper? I think of it as a thwack. You wouldn't.
You take that back.
All right, well,
Why are you laughing?
I'm going to,
네, 결승
I'm going
직행을
to
위해서
ruminate on that one
달리고
as we throw it to
있습니다.
G-Sun for
그리핀의
some
타잔
translation.
선수, 도란 선수 함께
Thank
할게요.
you very much,
안녕하세요.
guys. This is Sieze with Lehends translation, and we'll be hearing from Tarzan
오늘
and
경기
Doran
승리로
from
이끌고
Griffin
이제
picking up
정규
2-0
스플릿
victory
1위까지
today.
다음 경기 단 한 경기 남았습니다.
Only one
타잔
match
선수
left
먼저 승리
for
소감
the first
들어볼게요.
place lock-in.
오늘은 2승
Well,
중에
today,
한 개는 챙겨가지고
well, we got one of the 2 victories that we need.
다음 경기도
So,
편하게 준비하지
I
않을까.
think we will be a little bit more
기대해보도록 하겠습니다.
now relaxed
그리고
in terms of
도란 선수
preparing for
오늘
upcoming
인터뷰는
series.
처음이에요. 저번에 MVP는
Doran,
받기도
this is your
했는데
first
사실
interview
기사에서
on
인터뷰가
stage.
제일 떨린다 이런
And
얘기
I saw you
하셨는데
mentioning
지금
that
어떠신가요?
on stage interview is the most like nervous thing for you actually.
엄청 떨려요.
I'm super nervous right now.
네, 오늘 승리 소감 들어볼까요?
How do you feel about the win, Doran?
일단
Well, I just
제 실력을 믿고
I
예전
trusted
팀원들이랑
my
또
I wanna say
그리핀 탑 라인업 그 소드 선수
say thank
소드
you to all
형한테
my teammates who trusted
많이
my
도와주고
performance,
해서
also
고맙다고
Sword for
전해주고
helping me out so
네,
much.
도란 선수 정말 그리핀의 큰 힘이 되고 있습니다. 오늘 인터뷰도 잘
So,
부탁드립니다.
Good luck on your
자,
interview
먼저
on
1세트
stage
얘기부터
as well,
해볼게요.
Doran. So let's go back to game number 1.
선수에게 상대가 유미를
So
풀어주고요.
Jin Air actually let Yumi pass through the bend phase and locked in Bolívar Yasuo for bot lane composition. Did the players
일단
expect that?
야수 하나만 나왔을 때는
When we just saw Yasuo, we thought it could be a flex pick for mid lane as well. So we banned out Gragas and we just wanted to send Yasuo to bot lane.
오늘 자신감 있게 또 픽하신 이유도 들어보고 싶어요.
And I want to hear about Olaf's pick today as well.
그냥 올라프는 언제든지
Well,
꺼내도
I think
올라프가
Olaf, it's,
그냥 편하게
I mean, it's
꺼낼 것
just Olaf, so it's a
네,
very
그리고 또
comfortable
도란
pick
선수
for me in
복귀의
any kind of
위험이
situation.
제대로 드러났던 장면이 있었습니다. 탑에서의 장면이었는데요.
So we have a top lane
2대1
fight over here.
과감하게
It was a bit of a
진입을
risky
했어요.
2v3
판단이
situation,
어땠는지
but you went
설명해
in for that.
네, 도란 선수와 함께였는데 상황이
So it
어땠나요?
was you and Doran there.
2대3을 충분히 이길 수 있을 거라고 판단했어요.
Well, we had the confidence that we can win this 2v3 fight. So with me and Doran, we just went for the fight. And that flash over the wall,
잡아야겠다고 생각했나요?
that was a very
좀
bold
여유가
choice.
있었어가지고 판단하기에
Well,
뭐
I mean, we were in a bit of a comfortable situation, so I calculated that and I just pulled that off.
2세트는 뭔가 더 스무스한 느낌이었습니다.
Game number 2
일단
was
팀 얘기를 먼저
cleaner
해보면
than game
도란
number
선수
1 as
모데카이저
well.
픽을 하셨는데
So Doran,
사실
You
LCK
played Mordekaiser, but you know, Mordekaiser is not a champion that has found many success in very different
그
leagues.
솔로 랭크에서 모데카이저 좀
Well,
지배했는데
I enjoyed playing Mordekaiser in solo queue,
각이 나와서
and
한번
luckily I had the situation to play it in competitive game today.
느낌이 많이 다를 것 같거든요. 팀적으로는
So how is playing Mordekaiser in competitive game?
일단 라인전부터
Well,
이기는 게 가장
It's really
중요하죠.
important to win from the laning phase.
그리고 타잔 선수 카직스를
And Tarzan, you also played Kha'Zix, and we saw you wearing a smile when you locked it in.
일단 상향을 카직스가 한번 먹어가지고
Well,
꺼낼 수
Well, this
있겠다
champion got
싶었는데
buffed recently, so we thought it's gonna be quite viable, and all the other players were like,
이제
go for
픽하면서
it. They believed in me,
버스 잘
so
탈게라고
I
하면서
locked it in. I said, I'm just gonna get carried.
들었던 경기였나요?
So how was game number
딱히
2,
뭐 한게
Tarzan?
없어서 그냥
Well, I mean, I did
가붕이 한
nothing. I was like maybe a silly
도란
Kha'Zix
선수
player at that
존재만으로도
moment.
그리핀에 엄청난 힘이 되니까요. 자, 그리고 도란 선수 탑라이너의
So,
진정한 면모를
Doran,
보여줬던 장면이 있었죠.
Today your performance as a top laner was on point. Let's go for the 1v5 highlight in bot lane.
있었는데 판단이 어땠나요?
이때
So you
저가
might
너무
be
잘 커서
getting
상황을
caught out.
봤는데
Well, I was so bad at that moment, so I was actually
바텀에서
waiting for a fight.
1대5 하겠다 하고
So I told my teammates that I'll just go for a 1v5,
잡고 나왔던
and I just used my ultimate and assassinated one.
상황을 다 예상하고
So you expected that
네.
outnumbered
5명인
situation.
거는 방금 알았고 3명인 줄 알았어요.
Well, I thought it was gonna be 1v3, but I just found out that it was
찔했지만
1v5.
팀원들이 백업을 잘 와줘서 이렇게 마지막까지 살아갈 수 있었습니다. 자, 그리고 타잔 선수 솔랭이
Tarzan,
최근 최고 점수
You're the number 1 solo queue player, and you hit the biggest number in terms of league points.
그 장면이 화제가 되기도 했는데
1,700 points.
장면도 많으시던데 솔랭 점수
We
높게
saw you
유지하는
solo
비결이
carrying
있으실까요?
in solo queues. Any
일단
tips
운이
for
좀
the
많이
players?
좋았던 것 같고
I think I was
뭐
really
이제
lucky.
저랑
To be
만나는
honest,
팀원들이
I had a very great teammates. They were doing such a great work, so I was able to climb up.
도란 선수는 타잔 선수 솔랭에서
도란.
보면 나도 저렇게 높이 올라가고 싶다 이런
What?
생각 들 것 같아요.
Seeing Tarzan
어떤가요?
on the first place may be a big motivation, right?
비슷하게 하는 것 같은데.
Well, I think we do this. We do quite similarly, but
별로 안 좋아요.
I'm a little bit jealous that he's on the first
네,
place
도란
on his
선수도
own.
점수 쭉쭉 올라가시길 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 도란 선수 아무래도 첫 인터뷰다
And
보니까
Doran, this is
팬분들이
your
너무너무
first
기대 많이
interview,
하셨어요.
so
팬분들께 한 말씀
Any
부탁드려도
message for
될까요?
the fans who have been waiting for your interview for a long time?
감사하고
Well, thank you for all the love and support,
보이겠습니다.
and I will do my
네,
best to
큰
win
박수
the
한번
next game.
보내주세요. 근데 떨리신다더니 말씀 너무
Well, you said you're
잘하시네요.
nervous, but you're a great
몸이 떨려.
talker. Sage, I mean, my
도란 선수 너무
body is
귀여워요.
shaking.
귀엽죠, 타잔 선수.
Isn't Doran adorable?
살짝
Um,
컨셉이 좀
I mean,
지옥이긴
he's
하네.
just faking it. I can't handle it.
역시 우정이 넘치는 사랑이 넘치는 그리핀 선수들입니다. 타잔 선수 이제 마지막 하나 생명
Tarzan, your
승리하면
next
정규
opponent
스플릿
will be
1위로
Hololive
마무리를
Esports,
합니다.
and you guys will be able to
롤드컵
lock
직행까지
in the first
가능한데
place and
마지막
also
경기
get a
각오
seat
들어볼게요.
for Worlds.
일단 절대 방심 안 하고
We will
내일
never
잘
ever let
준비해서
our guards down.
진짜
We will
좋은
do our best in
경기력으로
terms of
준비 잘해야지
preparation,
이길 것 같아요.
and we're just
네,
gonna show
알겠습니다.
our best performance to
승리로
win the
이끌길
game.
응원하겠고요. 도란 선수도 마지막
Doran,
각오
any
해주세요.
last message as a resolution?
그 다음 경기 이기면
If we win our next match, we're going straight to the finals, so we will
좋은 결과 보여드리도록
make it happen
하겠습니다.
and
네,
get a great
그리핀이
result.
정규 스플릿 1위 과연 달성할 수 있을지 계속 기대해
So
보도록
this will be the end of
하겠습니다.
the interview
도란
with
선수,
Tarzan,
타잔
Doran,
선수, 도란
from
선수
Griffin,
몸이 떨리신다고
especially
하셨는데 몸이 떨릴
Doran,
정도로
who
즐거운
is
인터뷰였습니다.
shaking on
감사합니다.
stage. So this will wrap up with the
타잔
interview with
선수,
the two
도란 선수
players, and I'm going to
함께했습니다.
pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jisun, as usual, for your interview translation, especially with the adorable Doran. That must have been a little bit difficult to figure out because he was a bit nervous there on stage with Mina, which you could imagine for his first time.
And if you're wondering how he had 200 points, he got the MVP after those tiers, fought back and won that game number 2 against SKT before they went on to lose the series. So he didn't
Yes.
actually get interviewed
Yeah.
on that day. So definitely had a lot going on. Jin Air have done it. They have been perfectly down the bottom. 0-18 has finally happened. Only 4 game wins on the entire season. An 18-loss streak. It can never be exceeded. And now we can only hope that in the future it is going to be matched on the top side of the table, as no team has gone 18-0. The closest, SK Telecom T1 in 2015 summer, went 17-1. Lost to a CJ Enter squad that was rocking some subs. You might have heard of their jungler. His name was Trick.
Yep. That was a long time ago. But we do have to say goodbye for now to Jin Air Greenwings. Not
They'll
going to
be
be seeing
back.
them again. They will be back for the promotion tournament, but as far as the 2019 season is concerned, it is now going to be without a Jin Air Greenwings. But Griffin are going to be back, and we are also going to be back. We have a Hanwha Life against a FLICKR Freaks
Yeah,
matchup.
FLICKR fighting for playoffs.
Yeah, this is actually going to be a huge one. And with that gigantic pause, we also won't have to wait quite as long before we get into that series, guys. Don't go anywhere.
You take me higher when I feel low. Make my world brighter when I'm alone. I keep on rolling, all with your fuel. You're like my gasoline that makes my dream come true. 'Cause this is the beginning. Together we'll be winning. With you I'm a savage. Make my soul sing. 'Cause with you I'm feeling feather light. Light like a feather, white like the wind. I fly together to where we ever been. You taught me loving without all the bling. You're all I need. I'm feeling until